Alright, hey everybody, here we are ready for round two. We are on the play, and we have a terrible opening hand. 5 lands and a carrion crow, essentially. We're going to mull that for sure. This is not better at all. Shadowcloak Vampire and an Overwhelm, we're going to mull that. That has no lands. We're going to go to 4, and we're going to keep that. So this is four cards. 4 cards is not great. But I think these 4 cards are better than anything we saw in those previous hands. We have a 2-drop, we have a 3-drop if we hit a land, which statistically we should. So there's our first land. We got an Undergrowth Scavenger, which is not really a 4-drop. We want that to be a little bit later. Down comes a Research Assistant. That unfortunately blocks things for a good long while. What is up with me drawing my Undergrowth Scavengers at the same time? Oops. I thought I hit just cancel there, but apparently I hit OK and skipped the second main step. But that's fine. Down comes our Bronze Sable, and we will just pass the turn. Unfortunately, that Bronze Sable is not really going to go anywhere, nor is it going to block that Research Assistant if he wants to get in for 1. So he gets in for 1, and I assume we're going to see a 3-drop here. So down comes Divination, just refilling his hand. That's a good idea. He's not really facing down any significant threats at the moment. We miss our land, and we are on the back foot for sure. We're going to swing in for 2. See if maybe he plays nothing else for the rest of the game and we win the race. It's a hope. It's a long shot, but it's a hope. So I really need to hit a land this next draw, especially since we may be seeing a 4-drop here. Nope, he's just looting. Okay. Maybe he's digging for something really big. He threw away a Capsho Kite Fins. That's a strange thing to throw away. Maybe he was missing lands. Maybe that was his last land that he dropped. So we got our 3rd land, so we can bring out our Netcaster Spider at least, and we'll get in for another 2 here. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if maybe he misses a land drop or something. He was only 2 lands away from those Capsho Kite Fins, and they would have kind of sealed the game against me. He has his land. And down comes a Charging Rhino. So that's not great. I can't really make any profitable blocks against the Rhino. And not drawing a land is not going to help me here. I think I'm just going to have to pass the turn. And then just take 4 from that Rhino. Currently that Rhino is sitting as my prime Flesh to Dust target. I might be okay trading my Bronze Sable here, just filling up the graveyard for those Undergrowth Scavengers. So he's got a lot of mana and a lot of cards. What are we going to see next? We are going to see an Ancient Silverback. Also a gigantic problem for me. Also a gigantic problem for me is not drawing any lands. I'm going to have to, I guess, chump block that Silverback. Otherwise, I'd be taking 10 and going to 9. So he hits yet another land. Unless he's just top decking them, I really don't understand throwing away those Capsho Kite Fins. So Ancient Silverback does not have trample, correct? So I guess we're just going to block it and take the 4, go to 15. Next turn we're going to have to cast an Undergrowth Scavenger as a 3/3 if we hit a land. I guess we could cast the Accursed Spirit instead. Down comes something extraordinarily large. What is this going to be? A Siege Worm. If we don't draw a land, we're just dead? Yeah, we're just dead if we don't draw a land here. We draw a land. Alright, so I can cast... Let's cast the Accursed Spirit. I will still take 9 and go to 6 here. At which point I believe the game is just done. I think the game is done now, quite frankly. I still stand by my decision to mulligan that first hand. There just was not enough going on in it. But as you can see, he has just perfectly curved out. So we're going to block the Silverback. We're going to go to 6. And that's going to be game. Yeah, that was a terrible game 1. We were just dominated in that match. There was nothing that we could do. I think this Overwhelm needs to go away. This Crippling Blight needs to go away. We are going to put in a Witch's Familiar, and we are going to put in a Wall of Mulch. Yeah, let's see if I can get a better hand, basically, is my game plan for this match. I will play first. This is, again, not a great hand. It's extremely slow, but I guess I'll keep it. At least I have a 4-drop and 3 lands. So we're going to drop a forest and say go. He pops down an Elvish Mystic. That's going to help his guys come out a lot faster, which is not what we want to see. We're going to drop a land and say go. Next turn, we're going to drop a land and say go, most likely. So down comes a Bronze Sable, and then he's going to swing in for 1. I'm okay with that. I don't mind seeing a Bronze Sable. I wouldn't mind seeing my own Bronze Sable off the top deck. So just waiting for him to pass the turn. There we go. About time. So we see an Undergrowth Scavenger off the top deck. Not great. We're going to need to pass the turn here. And then next turn we can drop a Shaman of Spring. At least if we hit a land drop next turn, or rather the turn after that, we can convoke out the Willforged Golem, which is something-ish. But it's looking like we might be in trouble here. If he hits his 3rd land and sticks a 4-drop, then I feel like we might be starting to get too far behind. So he sticks the land. No 4-drop, just a 2-drop, or a 3-drop, but it is a flying 2/3 2-drop, which is pretty good. We're going to take 3 to the face here, go to 16. And then next turn I present a blocker for his Bronze Sable, which at least would turn off the Tinkerer. So there's something. I have a feeling this guy might be double queuing, possibly, playing another draft at the same time that he's playing this draft. There's no real reason that he's taking this long between priorities. I know some people like to do that. I know some people think they're such good Magic players that they can play multiple queues at the same time, but personally I find it really rude. It's really rude to me to be forcing me to just sit here and stare at the screen waiting for him to pass priority. Not a fan of it, personally. So I hit the Shaman of Spring. I hit a Satyr Wayfinder that I forgot was even in this deck. I'll have to think about what I do next turn here. I guess it really depends on if I draw a land or not. Siege Worm? Nimbus of the Isles, okay. So those flyers are going to get pretty out of control soon. The Nimbus of the Isles is going to be one of my prime targets for removal, because the Tinkerer I can take offline by taking out the Bronze Sable. So next turn I can play Living Totem. I cannot play Undergrowth Scavenger, it would be a 0/0. So yeah, I can play Living Totem or Satyr Wayfinder. If I draw a land, I could convoke out a Willforged Golem. And I do hit a land. So I'm going to be getting hit with 5 in the air next turn. So maybe it's worth it to Satyr Wayfinder here, just to make sure I have that land to turn on Covenant of Blood. So yeah, let's Satyr Wayfinder here. So we Satyr Wayfinder and we don't hit a land. That's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. We can't do anything else. We can convoke out Living Totem, actually. And I think we're going to have to. We're going to throw a counter on Shaman of Spring, making it a 3/3. And we'll tap down the Satyr Wayfinder to pay for the Living Totem. Oops, I don't... Or no, I target afterwards, yeah. I was thinking for a second that I had accidentally targeted the Wayfinder. So that's some creatures on board. Unfortunately, they are not flyers. My Underground Scavenger is a 4/4 at the moment. My Covenant of Blood will be online for me to kill off that Nimbus Naiad. And then it's just a matter of hitting the Stab Wound or the Flesh to Dust to kill off the Tinkerer. He still has a good deal of cards, though. Only 4 lands. He's missed a land drop. Or no, I'm on the play. He hasn't missed any land drops unless he misses this one here. So I would expect him to just fly 5 through in the air and hit me for 5, take me down to 9. I don't think there's that many decisions he really needs to make here. Just keep on hitting. Getting a Hunt the Week would also be pretty good. So he just passes the turn back. Maybe he didn't have a draw. Maybe he's short on time on his other game or something. So our Covenant of Blood is online, and I think that's really what we need to do here. We also have a Rotfeaster Maggot that we can get rid of the Wall of Mulch to get an extra 4 life out of this if we need to. But I think we're going to Covenant of Blood here. We'll tap the Satyr Wayfinder. So that'll kill the Nimbus of the Isles, unless of course he's holding back a Statute of Denial. Which he might be, who knows. No, he's not. Alright, so we go back up to 13. We get that Nimbus of the Isles out of the way. I think I'll bash in here for 3. He could double block, but I wouldn't expect him to. I'd expect him to just take the 3 here. It's something. If we get back in this game, it's 3 extra damage closer to him being dead. But he has something. He has... What does he have? 1 blue? No blue. He has nothing. He's just passing the turn. So it seems like he was trying to cast something. Is he going to do a Quickling at the end of my turn? Nope, just tapping for the sake of tapping. Alright, so down comes an island, and then we're going to see... 3, 4, 5... Capsho Kite Fins comes down. Living Totem's going to get tapped down. And we're going to see 4 come at me, taking me down to 9. Those Kite Fins are also a gigantic problem. I really need to hit my Flesh to Dust or my Hunt the Weak next turn. So 5's coming through, or sorry, 4's coming through. I'm going down to 9. And then the following turn, 5 can come through the air, which would take me to 4. And I haven't even seen his Ancient Silverbacks or Siege Worms or his other gigantic creatures, which will just end the game. So I go to 9, he passes the turn eventually. There we go. I hit a swamp, and I'm pretty close to dead. I can Rotfeaster Maggot and go back up to 4, which I guess is going to be the play, but Rotfeaster Maggot is not a fly yet. He's still a maggot, so he's on the ground and not really going to do much. So we'll toss the Wall of Mulch and get 4 life back. And we will cross our fingers for a removal spell next turn. Alright, down comes an Ancient Silverback. We're going to see something get tapped, but it's not really going to matter. He's going to come in for 5, taking me to 8. Nothing I can do about that. So he passes the turn back to me. I hit a forest, which is not going to do much here. I can bring out a golem, I suppose. I'm going to have to chump block that silverback, which he can very easily regenerate if I decided to try to kill it in any way. 1 mana regenerate on a 6/5 is incredible value. So we're just going to have to pass the turn back here. So he's going to come in for 5 in the air. He's going to come in with his Ancient Silverback as well. Oh, no, that's just game, because his Ancient Silverback is now unblockable. So we're just going to concede here. I don't really want to see this. Let's see what card we had coming. We had a Hunt the Week coming, so we could have maybe done something. That was a very bad game. I had faith in my deck. I thought my deck could do something. But unfortunately, that deck was just fantastic that we played against. Hopefully round 3 goes a little bit better. I'm personally not that big of a fan of M15 as a draft format. I'm finding I have some difficulty with it. But hopefully round 3 gets me something, so I will see you guys for then.